Ever felt a strange unease in your heart, like something just isn't right, but you can't put your finger on it? Or maybe you keep running into roadblocks no matter how hard you try to move forward. What if these moments aren't just coincidences, but gentle warnings from God Himself? What if God is trying to get your attention, to guide you away from danger and back onto the path He designed for you? How can you tell the difference between a random setback and a divine warning? And most importantly, what should you do when you notice these signs? Today, we're diving deep into the 5 most unmistakable signs that God may be warning you, and what you can do to respond with faith, wisdom, and courage. Let's open our hearts and minds to hear what God might be saying to us today. Let's start with one of the most subtle yet powerful ways God speaks to us, through our inner peace. Have you ever had a sense of calm and contentment, only to suddenly feel restless, anxious, or uneasy for no clear reason? Maybe you're about to make a big decision, and suddenly, your peace evaporates. This isn't just nerves or overthinking. It could be the Holy Spirit nudging you, warning you to pause and reconsider. Isaiah 26:3 tells us, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you." God's peace is like a compass. When it disappears, it's often a sign that we're stepping off the path He wants for us. Maybe you're entering a relationship, a business deal, or a new opportunity. But deep down, you feel uneasy. Don't ignore that feeling. Ask yourself, is God trying to protect me from a wrong choice? Am I rushing ahead without seeking His guidance? When you lose your inner peace, pause. Pray. Ask God, is this from you? Are you warning me? Wait for His answer. Sometimes the absence of peace is His way of saying, not yet, or even, not at all. Repeated closed doors. Have you ever felt like every door you try to open is slammed shut in your face? You apply for jobs but never get a call back. You try to fix a relationship, but nothing seems to work. You pursue a dream, but obstacles keep piling up. It's easy to feel frustrated or even abandoned in these moments. But what if, instead of rejection, these closed doors are God's protection? Proverbs 16:9 reminds us, "In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." God sees what we cannot. Sometimes He closes doors to protect us from harm, disappointment, or paths that would lead us away from His best for us. Think about it. How many times have you looked back and realized that what felt like a setback was actually a blessing in disguise? When you face repeated closed doors, don't force your way through. Instead, ask God, is this your way of redirecting me? What are you trying to teach me? Trust that God's no is always for your ultimate good. Spiritual dryness or distance from God. There are seasons in life when prayer feels empty, worship feels routine, and reading the Bible seems dry. You might feel like God is distant or that your faith has lost its spark. This spiritual dryness can be a warning sign. It's like a spiritual check engine light, alerting you that something needs attention. Psalm 51:10 says, "Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me." When you feel distant from God, it's not because He has moved away. It's often because we have drifted. Maybe we've allowed distractions, sin, or busyness to crowd out our relationship with Him. Concern from wise, godly people. Sometimes God uses the people around us to deliver His warnings. Have you ever had a friend, parent, or pastor express concern about a decision you're making? Maybe they see something you don't, and their words make you uncomfortable. Proverbs 19:20 says, "Listen to advice and accept discipline, and at the end you will be counted among the wise." God often speaks through wise, godly people who care about us. Their perspective can help us see blind spots and avoid mistakes. It's easy to get defensive or dismiss their concerns, but what if their warning is actually God's way of protecting you? When someone you trust raises a red flag, don't brush it off. Listen carefully. Pray about what they've said. Ask God for discernment to know if He's speaking through them. Remember, God's warnings often come through community, not just personal revelation. Persistent guilt or conviction. Have you ever done something you know is wrong, and no matter how hard you try, you just can't shake the feeling of guilt? That persistent conviction isn't there to shame you. It's God's loving way of calling you back. Hebrews 12:6 tells us, "For the Lord disciplines those He loves, and He punishes each one He accepts as His child." Conviction is a gift. It's God's way of steering us away from choices that could harm us or others. If you ignore that inner voice, you risk hardening your heart and missing out on God's best. When you feel persistent guilt or conviction, Don't run from it. Bring it to God in prayer. Confess and ask for forgiveness. Receive His grace and make things right where you can. God's goal isn't to condemn you, but to restore you. If you notice any of these signs in your life, don't ignore them. God's warnings are not punishments. They are acts of love. They are invitations to stop, reflect, and realign your life with His purpose. What should you do? Pray. Ask God, are you trying to tell me something? Listen. Pay attention to what He reveals through His Word, your circumstances, and godly counsel. Obey. Take action, even if it's difficult. Trust that God's way is always best. Rest. Remember, God's warnings come from a heart of love, not anger. He wants to guide, protect, and bless you. Have you experienced any of these signs lately? What is God saying to you through them? Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. If this message spoke to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this encouragement today. Let's stay sensitive to God's voice and walk boldly in the path He has prepared for us. Remember, God is always speaking. Are you listening?